Okay, good morning and good afternoon, depending on where you are. And I'm very pleased to welcome you to today's information session for the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program, which we all know is a dynamic and impactful program that is catalyzing Africa's development by empowering young entrepreneurs with trainings, networks, and funding. I want to begin by first apologizing for the delay in starting this program. We had a few technical issues that we are trying to resolve. My name is Kwame Yeboah, and I am a passionate advocate and believer in the transformative power of young people. And I am also the coordinator of the African Youth Transformation Platform, and whose auspices this event is being hosted. The platform is basically a community of practice that seeks to empower African youth to effect transformative change in their communities through research and advocacy, capacity building, and resource mobilization. And today I'll be moderating the discussion and all the events that will be taking place today. But before we jump right into it, there are a few housekeeping rules. We are really excited about things that is going to happen, but just want to quickly touch base on these housekeeping rules. The first is this session is being recorded, and the recording will be made available to all participants that are attending today. We do have a French translation available. So for those who would like interpretation, kindly look down at the interpretation button, which is below your screen, and then you click that and select the French channel, which will be given to you. And then we intend to have this session be more or less a question and answers. We want to address questions that you would have about the entrepreneurship program that the foundation is organizing. So we encourage you to use a question and answer button, which is also underneath the menu, the Zoom menu, and use that to submit questions to us, and we will direct them to the panelist to answer them. We have an exciting 1 hour ahead, which is going to begin with remarks coming from the two institutions that are organizing this, the Alliance for African Partnership and the Tony Elumelu Foundation. So without much ado, I would want to bring before you Dr. Jose Jackson Malete, who is the co-director for the Alliance for African Partnership, for an opening remarks. Jose, please take it over.
Thank you very much, Kwame. Good morning, colleagues. And Justin, could you share the slides? I just thought it would be easier for you to see as I give a few remarks about the Alliance for African Partnership. We're a consortium of 10 African universities and a regional agricultural think tank based in Africa and Michigan State University. We collaborate together, we co-create innovative solutions to global challenges with the goal of transforming lives in Africa and beyond. We have certain guiding principles around accountability, equity, transparency, etc., that in the ways in which we do our work with partners. And this transcends all of the work that we do. Our approach, as I said, is to transform lives through co-created, research-driven initiatives that address shared challenges. We work around 6 priority areas, as indicated there. And as you can see, youth empowerment is one of our priority areas. Next slide. As I mentioned, the consortium members are listed here, and we work very closely together as we implement various programs across the African continent. As you can see, we are in East, West, and Southern Africa. Next slide. Kwame has just mentioned our African Youth Transformation Platform. We began this in 2020, and we began with a consultation process to make sure that the voices of the youth were incorporated into the work that we do. We also looked and discussed with faculty and academic staff across our consortium to make sure, again, that we are aligned. And as we established this consortium and began our work together, these are some of the key things that we are focusing on. Expanding access to resources, and that could be whether it's training, mentorship, etc. Promoting skills development, promoting entrepreneurship, ensuring that youth voices and agency are promoted and they are elevated. We also advocate for an enabling business and policy environment. And one of the key things as universities, as we are a consortium of universities and research organizations, we ensure that decisions that are made by SMEs and the firms that will be established as part of this platform, that it is based on African data. We also try to engage the youth in the research that we do, and we ensure as well that there's an African context for all the research and capacity building that we do. Since the establishment of the platform, we have supported colleagues across the consortium to work together, and we've had some successes with major projects in Kenya, in Mozambique, and other types of projects. We thank you all for your collaboration and partnership, and we look forward to working together in the future. Thank you very much. Next slide.
The context African.
Thank you. Yes, this is the information about how you can get in touch with us, our email address, and our website for more information about the AAP. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Jose, for those opening remarks. We are indeed excited to have this event being co-organized by the Alliance for African Partnership. At this point, I'm also pleased to bring before you the CEO of the Tony Elumelu Foundation, who has graced us with her presence here, and in the person of Mrs. Ifeniwa Ugochukwu, and to provide some brief remarks.
Thank you, Kwame, for the warm introduction. And it's an absolute pleasure to be here this afternoon. And let me commend the African Alliance Partnership for putting this event together, and most importantly, for prioritizing support to the youth. And, of course, Michigan State University for putting together this consortium. It's heartwarming to see collaboration across continental lines. And I always say that in our sector, there's no such thing as competition, there's only collaboration, because we cannot do enough to support young African entrepreneurs, professionals, wherever they may be across the world. So once again, thank you for putting this together. As you all know, the Tony Elumelu Foundation is the largest private sector-led foundation that deals with entrepreneurship empowerment. We firmly believe that supporting the micro, small, and medium enterprises is a surefire way to guarantee job creation as well as the economic development of our continent, Africa. We know that the SMEs provide 70 to 80% of the jobs needed on the continent, and with our burgeoning youth population, we need to bring up our youth to have a job-creating mentality and not a job-seeking mentality. That is the only way out. And that is why we're here today to talk about what we do, the opportunities that's available to young entrepreneurs who have businesses in Africa or are thinking of having businesses in Africa. One thing that's unique about our program is that if you even just have only an idea, you can still apply to the program, because we believe in dealing with the bottom of the pyramid, that place where the banks are not yet interested in you, the traditional investors are not yet interested in you. That's where our interest lies, because we believe in giving you that hand up to start your journey, to prove your concepts and help de-risk you so that you are now able to approach the more traditional financial institutions. So for us, we also believe that training and funding are two sides of the same coin. Training is absolutely critical. We want to train young Africans for the world 50 years from now and not for the world 50 years ago. And that means understanding the importance of innovation. That means always thinking outside the box, thinking in how you can disrupt, because if you are not disrupting, then that means someone else somewhere is disrupting you. Of course, we cannot overemphasize the importance of technology. We all know that Africa missed the first 3 industrial revolutions. We cannot afford to miss the 4th industrial revolution, and that's the digital revolution. So we are proponents of 100% connectivity with no African left behind. So I'm not going to say too much. I would like to, on that note, hand over to my colleague, Onie, who will give a more comprehensive overview about the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program, how to apply, what to expect, and all the information that's required at this time. So once again, thank you so very much to the organizers. Thank you for putting this together. Thank you to the attendees, and looking forward to connecting. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those brief remarks. At this point, I will turn to Onie, if you could please follow up. You're muted.
Hi again, everyone, and hello, Kwame. Thank you so much for the introduction, and thank you, Ifeanyi. Good afternoon once again, everyone. My name is Onie Okola, and I'm the Policy and Partnerships Officer here at the Tony Elumelu Foundation. And so for this session today, we would like to, run you through the history of the foundation, and to also let you know how you can apply to our program. So the Tony Elumelu Foundation started in 2010 by our founder, Mr. Tony Elumelu. And the interest really was to say, okay, how can we continue to support, young Africans? How can I make a difference? What kind of impact do I want to have? And so the foundation was birthed. Initially started out with education initiatives, and then in 2015, the foundation spread and created the entrepreneurship program that is, now known across the globe today. And so this entrepreneurship program was created with a $100 million commitment to fund, train, and to mentor 10,000 entrepreneurs in 10 years. So that was the goal. So we're currently in year 7. We've been able to fund, train, and mentor over 15,000 young African entrepreneurs. And we've been able to also do that through the work that we've done with some of our partners. The entrepreneurship program, again, is really focused on, saying, okay, we know that there are young Africans who have ideas for businesses, and we know that they have needs. How can we support them, right? So how can this $5,000 seed capital that we're giving them be catalytic in helping them and in helping their businesses, right? So that's what that funding does. And one of the very cool things about the program is the fact that you now become, a member of our alumni network, and you're able to connect and meet with other African entrepreneurs that, are also doing business on the continent. The program has 7 pillars. The first pillar is what we call a business management program. So that's the training component. So entrepreneurs who enroll and who apply for the program are able to receive training on business fundamentals, and it's been coined a mini MBA of some sort. So you're able to learn how to manage your business, how to run a business, because again, you have people who are applying who are still at the idea phase, right? So when you come into the program with an idea, the essence of the program and the training is to now help you beef that idea up and to say, okay, this is how I want to run my business. This is a plan that I have, and this is how, through the $5,000 seed capital, I will now, work on that. The second pillar is our platform, tefconnect.net. So this is our digital platform where entrepreneurs are able to go and connect with each other. The application also sits on this platform. It also functions as a marketplace and as a networking tool. So you're able to network with like-minded entrepreneurs who might not be in your country, but might have similar ideas to yours, and work together and share ideas and success stories, or any issues like that. And I think that's, for us, one of the very cool things about the program. The third pillar is the online mentoring session. So entrepreneurs who are successful and receive the funding are paired with a mentor. The essence of the mentorship, again, is to, be connected to someone who has also faced the same, very similar struggles as you, and they're able to guide you, again, because entrepreneurship can sometimes be very difficult, very strenuous and challenging. We figure that, in addition to the funding, having some sort of guide to, say, this has been my experience, this is how to go about things, and to connect you to additional opportunities is crucial. And meetups, prior to the pandemic, we were also organizing a lot of meetups where across the continent, entrepreneurs in different regions could meet up with each other, have 1 or 2 sessions, connect, learn, have knowledge sharing sessions, as the case might be. Additionally, we also used to have the forum, the Entrepreneurship Forum, which I think was the largest gathering of entrepreneurs across Africa, right? So at the forum, you had the opportunity to, again, meet your friends, meet policymakers, engage with policymakers, and the like. And then the sixth is the seed capital. So again, that's the $5,000 that you receive to start your business. And then afterwards, you are now part of the alumni network. And so one of the cool things about the alumni network is that, it's a lifetime thing, right? So for us here, we're constantly thinking of additional opportunities that we can connect our entrepreneurs to. The entrepreneurs connect with themselves as well. If tomorrow, someone from Uganda comes to Nigeria, they know that they have that alumni network to also support them and to, lean on in a new country. So for us, that's one of the cool things about the program as well. Next slide, please. Thanks, Justin. And so again, why entrepreneurship? Again, if you're thinking contextually about the African continent today and where we're at in terms of just the fact that a lot of, our youth population is bulging, and, predictions say that we're on the rise, right? So what that means automatically is that there are a lot of young people looking for jobs, looking for opportunities, looking for funding, to be able to sustain themselves. And entrepreneurship is one of the ways to do that. So when someone is able to start a business and they're able to attract funding, they're able to employ people, it's a domino effect, right? So they have purchasing power. That purchasing power means that they can now spread that. They can now employ more people and ultimately contribute to the GDP of their country. So entrepreneurship, I think, is quite crucial in the development of our continent. Next slide, please. And again, to go back to the objectives of the work that we're doing at the foundation, the first really is job creation, right? So for us to be able to, for the entrepreneurs to be able to create jobs, we need to give them the opportunity to do so. The second thing is that job creation now in turn leads to wealth generation, right? So as you conduct your business and you're able to employ people and succeed, you're creating wealth, you're creating sustainable income for yourself and for those who you've employed. And of course, the third thing is inclusion. So at the foundation, one of the very cool things about the program is that it's sector agnostic. And that means that from any sector that you're in, you can apply to the program obviously also open to both men and women, right? So it's a very inclusive program. Next slide, please. Okay, I think I've just gone over all of those things. Justin, please, next slide. Next. Yes, so I would like to, sorry, if you could go back to TF Connect. Thank you. And again, just to show you what the page looks like when you go on our website to apply, if you go to tfconnect.net, and the application currently sits on there. And so you're able to log in, sign up, use your login details, and then fill out the application. Again, in terms of training, in terms of any type of content, as you progress in the program, once you've been selected, all of that stuff sits on our platform, TF Connect. It's also a very exciting way to network and to meet with other entrepreneurs as well. So I will pause here on my presentation and really just now dive a bit more into the application process for this year. So Justin, thank you so much. You can stop sharing your screen now. So for this year, the application is already ongoing. The application was opened on January 1st, and the deadline is March 31st. So what that means is that between now and March 31st, you're more than welcome to go ahead and apply. The website is called tfconnect.net. So what happens when you go online? So you will log in or create an account. You'll be asked a bunch of, background information questions like your name, all of that stuff. And then also there will be a psychometric analysis that's, embedded in the application as well, which really is just for us to see, okay, how is this person thinking about their entrepreneurship journey? What are their personality traits? What is this telling us about what type of entrepreneur they will be? So that's that process. That's going on again till March 31st. So once March 31st is done, the application will no longer be available on tfconnect.net. We will take that application down and then do a due diligence. The due diligence for us means just checking to make sure that all of the information you've provided to us is valid and accurate and complete. Once that process is done in April, at the end of April, the training now begins. The training again is a 12-week training that, as I explained earlier on, where you're learning business fundamentals, how to manage your finances as an entrepreneur. You're learning, how to manage customers, how to deal with vendors, all of that very detailed training, but also customized for the African context, right? For the peculiarities of doing business in Africa. So once the training is completed, again, it's different modules. You will have assignments and, tracking of your participation and all of that stuff, which is scored. So once the training is now completed, all of those who successfully complete the training and meet all of the requirements are then invited to pitch. So for pitching, what pitching looks like is that you submit a pitch video. So you will get instructions to say, okay, in this video, talk about your business idea, but also mention these key things. So this is my business name, this is my business plan, this is how I want to, this is how I intend to use the $5,000 to achieve those objectives, right? So you will be then asked to submit a pitch video. Those pitch videos are reviewed by a panel of judges. And once that's done, it's now further streamlined to those who will be shortlisted to receive the $5,000. And so once you've been selected, usually there'll be a selection announcement. Once you've been selected to receive the $5,000, you will get a notification saying congratulations and all of that stuff, right? So once you've been selected to receive the $5,000, you will send your bank due diligence documents and all of that so that the money is now then deposited in your account. Once the money is deposited in your account and now the process has been completed, at that point, you now become an alumni, right? So you're now inducted into the alumni network, which is, right currently roughly 15,000 or more. And you're able to now network, get access to additional opportunities, meet with other entrepreneurs in your own country or in your own city, as the case might be. So that's the process in a nutshell. And I think that I've covered everything. I will stop here for now. Thank you so much, Kwame.
Thank you very much, Onye, for that broad overview. I think that was very helpful. And I know a lot of questions are coming up. And I will encourage our participants to please continue to send the questions in as we move into the next session, where we are going to engage our panelists for today. So in addition to people coming from the foundation, we also have beneficiaries of the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program. And we have two beneficiaries here who are going to be part of our panel. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce them, after which we will ask each of them just to briefly share their experiences going through the application process and also going through the program. And then we can launch into the questions. So the first person we have here is OK Ese. And OK Ese is a self-taught serial social entrepreneur that builds unrefined ideas from strategy to sustainability. So he has founded 5 successful companies, created 2 proprietary products, holds 6 patents and franchises of 2 other products, and has established himself as an astute product developer. So that will be okay. And then our the next person who you also hear from will be Salasi Jikunu. And Salasi Jikunu is a proven consultant with expertise and deep experience in cross-channel customer experience transformation, from strategy to implementation. She is a co-founder of Jasset Consulting, which is an accounting and management consultancy firm, and currently the director of strategy and corporate affairs of the firm. So those are the 2 that you'll be hearing from. And I would want to start off with OK. OK, please proceed and share with us your experience.
All right. Thank you so much. Good afternoon or good evening, everyone, depending on where you are. My name is OK Ese. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Power Stove Energy.
Co-founder do.
I'm also an alumni of Tony Elumelu Foundation. I did 3 applications from the year the Tony Elumelu Foundation was launched. I put in application, but I wasn't successful. I tried again the following year and I wasn't successful. So it was on the 3rd year, I became an alumni. And one good thing about the foundation is that even the 2 years I wasn't successful, the trainings that I was equipped with helped me to be able to build a business. Then when it was an idea, when we'll be able to find our product market fit. And having been an alumni for 3 years plus now, I've been able to gain massively from the foundation, both in terms of access to markets, partnerships, additional fundings. Tony Elumelu Foundation has never left the alumni stranded. If you send them messages, they're always quick to reply. I've been a beneficiary of some other funds, but what differentiates Tony Elumelu is because they're always calling on you to know how you are progressing, what your challenges are, and that has set them apart from other organizations that are also doing similar things in this ecosystem.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Salasi. Salasi, yeah, you are please muted.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Or good morning, depending on where you're joining us from, but it's good afternoon from Ghana. My name is Salasi Jikunu, and I'm the founder of the Delcy Shop, which is an online e-commerce platform for made in Ghana beauty products, and also the co-founder of Jasset Consulting, which is a bookkeeping and accounting company for startups. My experience with the Tony Elumelu Foundation is one that I would say is exceptional. It's exceptional because as a female entrepreneur, aside the opportunity that the platform gave me, I'm still open up to more opportunities. So, for example, you're taking through some courses or some topics that are very essential for someone who is running a business, and it's almost like a master's class, an MBA class, because your thoughts, what a business model should look like, your business model should look like, assuming it's just an idea, assuming you've not even started running the business yet, and it's just an idea. They take you through the process of learning what your business model should be. They take you through the process of putting together your business plan, so you better understand what it is you're getting into and what you should expect. And so you actually go through the process step by step. They teach you how to acquire customers. For example, what is customer acquisition, who your customers ideally should be, your customer profile. And so it's quite a hands-on experience. The application process is straightforward and quite simple, like Onye has explained. But for me, it was the learning experience that is something that I'm still applying to the other businesses that I'm running now, which is very, very valuable to me. And so you're taking through hands-on experiences. Once you log into the platform and it's time for a class, it's interactive. And so you're able to ask questions, you're given assignments, you're able to do them and submit them through the platform. And I must say that the TEF Connect platform has been a very, very useful tool, because even after receiving the funding, you still have access to the platform for networking with other entrepreneurs across Africa. You still have access to the platform for the material that was used for the training. And so you can still have access to that material and refer to it at any time. And so that experience has been very helpful and very useful to me as a female entrepreneur. After the funding, there is also a feedback. There's always a follow-up. You always have somebody from the foundation sending you an email, calling you, asking, to follow up on whether you're actually using the funds in the business, like you mentioned during the application process. They will follow up. So even though it's a grant, they will follow up to ensure that you're actually using the funding as you have suggested in your documentation. But the best thing that I'm enjoying so far as a female entrepreneur is that I'm still getting more opportunities from the foundation. And so currently I am in an access to finance workshop in partnership, GIZ in partnership with Tony Elumelu, organizing something for female entrepreneurs here in Ghana. And I'm part of it just because I'm an alumni of the foundation. And so I would encourage everybody who is part of today's webinar to apply and just make sure that whatever information you're given out is accurate, is correct. You do not use false documentation, because they will check. They will do the background check to ensure that whatever you're saying, you're doing, or have done is accurate. And so please be mindful about that. They are so open. Their emails are always active. Onye is always available to answer questions. Once you send them an email, they're always there to give you a call back or to respond to your questions and your queries. And also the alumni network is very strong and active in the various countries. I can speak for Ghana because the Ghana TEF alumni is very strong. We organize events, we organize meetings, we support each other. We try to take advantage of other opportunities that our government or other organizations may try and may put together. And so we apply as an organization or as members of the Ghana TEF alumni. And so it's not just about the funding, it's not just about the money, but it's the aftermath, the ripple effects of all the opportunities that are open up to you as a young entrepreneur. And so we're here. And one last thing about it also is the mentorship. So what they do is they attach you to mentors that are in your sector. They try as much as possible to ensure that whichever mentor you're being connected to is somebody who is a thought leader in the sector in which you want to enter or you're currently in. And their mentors are really great people. They are experienced people. They give off their best in guiding you as to how to implement whatever you have put into your business plan or your business model. They're always there to answer questions. And some of them even go, ahead to handhold you through some of the challenges that we may go through as entrepreneurs. Because as mentors, they're supposed to help us, jump over certain hurdles that are avoidable, because I believe personally that if you do not have a mentor, it takes a longer time to get to where you want to get to. But once you have a mentor, he or she is able to identify certain parts that may not be useful to you as an entrepreneur or as a business, and will help you to scale up quicker and faster. And so I'd advise everybody on the call today to take advantage of the application window. Just ask as many questions as you can. Make sure you understand perfectly and what is required of you. Make sure that your documentations are accurate, your information is accurate, and yes, you would enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Salasi. And I see there's a lot of questions in the chat as well as in the question menu. So we'll just go ahead and dive right away into them. The first question that we have here is there an age limit for applying? And then a follow-up question to that is also, for those that are not successful, what are other kind of resources or that they could access through the Tony Elumelu Foundation? I think that would be directed to Oniye.
Okay.
Thanks, Kwame, but I see Salasi wanted to go ahead, so I'll let her go first.
Well, I am not sure about the age limit. I think that during the time I was registering, I think the age limit was 35. I'm not sure if that has changed or not, but that's what I know about the age limit. Regarding resources, like I said, TEF Connect is a very huge platform that has resources that are available to any entrepreneur that wants to get access to them. But of course, I am sure that once you are accepted into the application, there are other resources that are available to you only when you are selected as a TEF alumni. But there are other general resources for, like articles and newsletters that are found on the TEF Connect platform that would be useful. So even if you apply and you are not successful, I would encourage you to still apply again. And I would encourage you to still use the TEF Connect platform, because there are other networks and opportunities that are posted on there. There's also the marketplace also, I believe, which you can take advantage of even if you're not selected.
Thank you, Salasi. So yes, so to the question on age, you're correct. I think currently, actually, no, there's no age limit. However, as you can imagine, right, with a program like ours and the fact that your business has to be 3 years or less, on average, you will find that most people who apply are 35 and under. But no, again, you're welcome to go ahead and apply even if you're above 35. In terms of resources, yes, again, TF Connect is one. And the other one, actually, interestingly, is our YouTube page. And so on our YouTube page, the Tony Elumelu Foundation, we have masterclasses and training content that has been made available to everybody and anybody to go and watch and learn more about entrepreneurship and beef up their skills. And again, if you applied last year and you weren't successful, you're always welcome to try again. However, if you do receive funding in 1 year, you can't come back to reapply. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Bonza Majosi asks that if you have a company which comprises of multiple directors who must apply or complete one application or one on behalf of the company, and then who will then receive the training?
So it would be one person. It should be one to one. So if it's co-founders but linked to one, to one company or one business idea or one, it would be, it would be regarded as the business. So it would be the one person, the founder or whoever in the team decided to fill out the application.
Okay. There is also a question here asking about partnership, that they are a university incubator, and they're just wondering if there are opportunities for the incubator to partner with the foundation.
So yeah, so they can email me. I will type my email in the chat, and they can email me, and we can continue the conversation via email.
There is also a question about how many people you planning to enroll this year.
That's still being decided, but I would say that shouldn't affect. If you're looking to apply, still go ahead and do so. Don't be scared. Yeah.
Okay. So someone has said, I would like to know if Salasi is willing to provide some guidance for prospective applicants.
Yes, definitely. That's why we're on the call. And so I will leave my phone number in the chat or my email, and you can just contact me now. I'll be happy to help.
Okay. Then there's a question from Grace. He said, can someone who had applied earlier and failed try again?
Yes. I think we addressed that. Yes.
There's a question, another question from Grace. He says, how do you make provisions for funding or supporting someone who wants to train people, especially the most vulnerable in digital and learning management systems? So more or less a train of trainers model that they are working with. Is there any support for those groups?
Sorry, Kwame, I didn't hear you. I'm hearing like translation, and I didn't hear you. You said, how do we create support for?
He said, do you make any provisions for funding or supporting someone who is doing training? So similar to the incubator. Is there any provision for supporting those that are providing training for those?
So is the business, again, you're welcome rather to apply with any business idea. So let's say your business idea is a training school, for example. You can go ahead to do that.
But
in terms of additional support that in terms of additional support that the foundation provides, if that's the question, all of the support that we currently offer is directly tied to the entrepreneurship program.
Okay. Onia, can you also provide maybe a broad overview of the kinds of businesses that you will qualify for funding?
Yeah, so again, because it's sector agnostic, you can imagine that it's such a wide mix. So typically you would have, by sector, most people who apply generally will fall in agriculture. So if it's that I have a rice farm in, my village or something like that, I'm doing a peanut distribution company. Again, it's very broad, right? Within each one group, like Selassie said, her business is an e-commerce platform for natural products, cosmetic products in Ghana, right? So you have people who are doing waste management and recycling. You have people who are doing sustainable tourism and fashion. For example, people who are making body butters out of shea butter and like that. People who are doing a smoothie business, food catering business. People who are in whatever eco-friendly plastic recycling business idea that they might have. So it really, really, really is as broad as you might imagine it to be. There are people who are also doing light manufacturing as well. They have a mini manufacturing plant where they're creating plastic or whatever it is. There are people who are ICT, who are running ICT initiatives like a learning lab or things like that. So it really, again, is across all industries and sectors that you can think of. There are people who are working in those different areas.
Thank you very much. I know we are almost running a little bit out of time, but I would ask the participant to indulge us for a few more minutes, given that we're unable to start this session on time. One question that I've also come in is, what are some of the common mistakes that applicants typically make in their application?
So I think in terms of that, not filling out the proper information is one. Not completing the training. Again, when signing up is the easy part, but actually committing to finishing and completing your training and making sure that all of the modules are duly completed is important when you think about making it to the next phase. However, for the actual application itself, it's just making sure that you're filling out all the questions as accurately as possible, and making sure that you're filling out all of your details correctly for the application. And then when you now get to the training, of course, it's making sure that you complete the courses. We've had cases in the past where people thought they were completing the courses and finishing up their modules, and then at the end realized that they weren't, or they hadn't rather. So yes, those are the main things that I would say.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I will now turn to OK and Selassie to also share if they have any advice that they will give to prospective applicants.
All right. From my own end, my advice is that applicants should understand that this is a competition. So the goal, though they might want the money, but the goal is not to get the seed money. There are a lot of benefits to harness in TEF program. In the TEF Connect platform, we've seen people who throw in questions that, okay, I'm into fish farming and I've seen mortality rate. Can someone advise me what I can do to stop mortality? Then someone offer that help and advice free of charge, just because you are on the platform. So they need to have an open mind to know that, okay, apart from the seed fund, there are other benefits that they can get from the TEF program. Another advice I also want to give is before they sign up, they also need to start now be practicing their pitch. Pitch is an opportunity for you to sell your idea, your business, or your concept. Judges look at how you were able to convince them that, okay, you really know that this idea is going to be the next big thing, is going to solve the problem in your community, or is going to be able to create job and wealth for your community. So they need to start early to practice their pitch, because now pitch is part of the final step to be able to qualify those who are going to get access to the seed capital. That's the advice I want to give.
Thank you. Okay, Selassie.
Okay, so the advice I would like to give is, one, you need to be patient with the whole process, because there are lots of people who are applying. I think during my time that we had I was told like 15,000 applications. And so I would advise entrepreneurs to be very patient with the foundation. Everything is in order. And so you just follow instructions and ensure that you submit your assignments on time. The platform is very automated and timed. And so when you're supposed to submit your assignments, please do want to submit them at the time that it's given, so that you do not draw the whole process back. Secondly, I would also advise all female entrepreneurs to apply, because there is a greater chance of female entrepreneurs being chosen. And so be confident in your business idea, be confident in the business you've already started, and just give it a try. Apply. And after that, also make sure that you keep in touch with the foundation so that you would even get more opportunities. Like OK said, it's not just about the seed funding, but it's also other very important things that you need to know as a business owner or as an entrepreneur. It's also about the networks that you would gather or you would create. It's about the relationships that you build with other people from all across Africa. And so it's not just about the seed funding, but it's about the lessons that will be learned, even if you do not have an MBA. Trust me, the training process you go through is more like an MBA that you have registered for from a university. And make good use of the networks that you would build on the platform and off the platform. It's very helpful for you in running your business. And ask questions, please. Ask questions. It's very important.
Thank you very much, OK and Salasi. I would also ask Onye if you could provide some last words in terms of highlighting the timelines or deadlines, as well as we'll request that we put a link to the application in the chat so that people can take advantage of it right away. So, Onye.
Okay, thanks, Kwame again. So again, the website is www.tefconnect.net, and the application deadline is the 31st of March. Application is currently open up until then. If you have any issues or any challenges, please reach out to myself, or you can send an email directly to enquiries@TonyElumeluFoundation.org. I will type that in the chat box. And again, just wishing everybody, best of luck. Don't feel discouraged. If you're having issues with the platform, or if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, and we're able to support you. Thank you. Let me type the email in the chat box so everyone can see it.
Thank you very much, Onye, OK and Salasi. This has been very insightful discussions, and I know we could go on and on and on and on. And I also know that participants have a lot of questions. If you have any additional questions, I encourage you to please submit it to us, aap@msu.edu, and we'll be sure to direct it to the respective panelists who will address them for you. And then I also see that there's also an email which is enquiries@TonyElumeluFoundation.org. So if you have any questions, please direct that to those emails, and we'll be sure that they are adequately addressed. Before we close out, I would like to bring before you Olivia Nabil, who is a program officer for the Sasakawa Global 2000 and an AAP advisory board member, to provide some closing remarks. Olivia, over to you.
Thank you so much, Kwame. And thank you so much, the panelists and speakers. And thank you so much, the alums, for providing the information that you've provided. We thank the TEF for organizing, TEF Alliance for African Partnership for organizing this information session. And so I'd like to, some of the things that I have picked as they were sharing and as everybody was sharing. So as everybody was sharing, some of the things that I have picked and what they have emphasized is literally to actively engage in knowledge seeking. We are really blessed as the youth on this platform and very many other people who are going to be able to apply and put in the requests for their businesses to be given the information. So one of the things is to know how, to know when guarding businesses. The other thing that I have actually picked, and I hope that we have picked, is networking and creating partnerships. You know, when you network and you create partnerships around the globe, it helps you to be able to achieve so many things. You might be having the knowledge, another person might be having the money. So when you come together, you can be able to achieve more as young people. And then engaging in a lot of skills training. We are so glad that the Tony Elumelu Foundation is providing that. And just like Oke said, that some people might not get the grant, but going through the process of training is really going to be beneficial for the youth to be able to improve their businesses. So for improving ourselves, a lot of skills training is literally very, very, very important. And one of the other things is having passion for what we do, having passion for our businesses. We have been hit by COVID, and we have seen so many people's businesses going down the drain. So many businesses have closed, and it is passion that actually keeps you in the business. It is passion that will keep you going regardless of everything that is happening. So having passion for your business and having passion for what you do will actually take you to greater heights. And I think doing a lot of market research is also very important. Just like Bill Gates states that your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. So we should really, really keep learning and learning and learning in order to improve our businesses. And fundraising constantly, you know, this is an opportunity that has been given to us to fundraise for our businesses. So we really, really need to ensure that, you know, if you don't go through, there are very many other platforms for fundraising. So we really need to constantly fundraise for our businesses in order for them to grow. So all these and more that I have shared have been provided by the Alliance for African Partnership. So there's networking, there's the Alliance for African Partnership Bridge that I request everybody to also join on top of the TEF Connect, network, to join, and then, you know, you'll be able to expand your your platform and expand the partnerships. On that note, I would like to partnership for organizing these information, for sharing their valuable information so much. They already said the future is now being placed on our shoulders to transform the future and to have the future that we want to see. So we have to make the world a better place, better than what we are seeing today. So we have to work twice or 10 times as much to see that we grab all the opportunities that have been presented to us to be able to achieve our businesses through helping others and everyone.
meilleur
I can
pour les
conclude by
autres
saying
raisons et
we should
il faut
do
aussi
something we love,
rattraper des
do something
opportunités que
important,
nous avons au moment.
but overall,
Je
do
vais
something
conclure.
that matters. Thank
Il
you
faut
very
faire
much.
ce que tu
Thank you very much, Olivia. On that
Back
note
to you, Kwame.
about being passionate and seek more knowledge, do something relevant and do something that is important. To our participants, I want to take this opportunity to thank you very much for making time to be with us and bear with us in spite of the technical difficulties. And also want to stress that the continent faces a huge employment challenge. The gap between the amount of jobs that is available and the labor market entrance widens by about 8 million a year. Many young Africans will need to create their own jobs. Africa's transformation is counting on you. And we hope that you will take advantage of these opportunities that the foundation is creating to help develop your entrepreneurial skills and advance Africa's transformation. We thank you for making time to be with us, and we look forward to our continued engagement. Thank you, and bye for now.
Thank you so much.